What's up, peoples? How y'all doing today? I just wanted to give a quick shout out, which I don't do very often, and it's been quite a while. To be honest, I don't watch a lot of YouTube channels. There are a few. Many of the ones I used to like have grown either too grim or too bubbly or too big sometimes to even have a discussion, which is what I enjoy. When the comments get rotten, it's kind of time to leave sometimes. But anyhow, I'm giving props today to, well, I don't know his name, but the channel is Coffeezilla, in one word. And he also runs a channel called Coffee Break, which the interesting thing is the Coffee Break channel, I believe, has, I think it's a 430,000 subscribers, I think I looked. But his other channel, Coffeezilla, only has 40,000 subscribers. Yet he's been uploading like 5 times more often to his smaller channel, which I totally understand. I have 2 other channels, and I upload to them sometimes when I just don't want to put it on my regular channel, especially when I want to just really get into something or I don't want it to seem formal. But this guy, he's a younger fella, and the reason why I'm giving him props is because I found him after making one of my videos about exposing frauds, gurus, and especially people who are trying to take your money because they know the best path to enlightenment, right? Once I started listening to his video, I think it came on after mine, I realized he was talking about these economic gurus, people who will help you become rich, wealthy, beyond your dreams. You buy this $5,000 course, and then all of a sudden you're going to be a millionaire. And there's one guy specifically that he had talked about. The guy's name was Dan Lok, L-O-K. And he shows pictures of him with his, standing by his Bentley. And he's one of these guys who's just really talks about money as being the be-all, end-all of life. And he's obviously making quite a bit of money off of his courses. Well, as he tried to expose this guy, the guy hit his channel with copyright infringements and strikes. And so all this did was fired the guy up more. And then he started talking about more and more about the dude, and it's become this kind of battle. The reason I'm giving him these props are because he's stood through it, and he's standing up for something that a lot of people don't realize happens all the time to people. If you speak bad about somebody who is wealthy, you can get shut up pretty quick by them using their money against you, by using that power against you, and that just makes people angrier. There's something like slap lawsuits. It's basically a smaller version of that. When you file a copyright strike or an infringement on somebody who's talking about you, it's like a slap lawsuit, which is where a company sues somebody for talking bad about the company. The intention is not to win. The intention is to complicate the person's life and shut down their voices. And people deserve to have their voices. I've talked down about snake oil salesmen for a long time, and he just handles a different angle of it. The idea is to expose frauds wherever you see them. And if you're wrong, if the person's not a fraud, then they should at least be able to, to prove their value, and often they can't. And you can tell by the way that they strike back. People spend a fortune. I've had personal emails from people after talking about these things. One person said that they were embarrassed to say that they spent over $100,000 on New Age self-help type, programs. They were truly embarrassed, and it was an authentic, heartfelt email. And then I got some from a couple other people who said, they didn't want to tell any friends or family. They spent all this money trying to find the truth, trying to find God. It's the same thing as somebody who spends all their money trying to make more money through these courses. So exposing this is very important, I think. And I don't like to talk bad about beliefs because I believe in placebo. I understand placebo. But I think people should be entitled to know if they're spending way too much of their money on something that is placebo, there might be a cheaper option out there that's just as effective. It's not that the more you spend, the better off you are. You don't always get what you pay for. I've had discussions with people about, say, things like Reiki. And I've offended people, accidentally because I said, well, Reiki was invented in 1922, less than 100 years ago, by a guy who went onto a mountaintop and starved himself and claimed to have a vision. This is very similar to how many of these beliefs have come to be, many New Age beliefs. And so this is why I expose that side of it. And it's not to put down anyone. It's not to destroy anyone's, beliefs, but it's to make them question. Because I believe we owe it to ourselves. And if they don't want to, they don't have to. There have been times in the past where we have had less than useful, beliefs, such as bloodletting and, burning people at the stake because we misunderstood what reality was, and I just don't want us to fall into that trap. But I don't reject all, what you would call, I guess, spiritual practices. I don't reject UFOs outright. I don't reject every single thing that I hear as fake. I definitely don't draw conclusions. I just say, I'm willing to look at the evidence wherever it is. And often these things are lacking. So when I expose the fraud guru, it's because the person's not a guru, and they're not really a New Age teacher. They're selling you something like a scalar wave propagator where you send them a photograph and they can heal you from afar. It's nonsense. And pseudoscience has to be exposed. So fortunately there's someone like him who's doing the other side of it. The side I don't think about. The financial side. Because I've never bought a course on how to make more money by spending a lot of money, but a lot of people do, and sometimes it works for them. We got to be clear about this. Sometimes these courses work for people, but what it comes down to is, it turns out in his case, these financial gurus, I guess they have blocked all negative comments or all people who wanted a refund or put down people who say it didn't work for them or that the system doesn't work. Hiding people's comments, hiding information, omitting criticism is the problem. This is what we're after. Is as long as people have a voice where they can say, I don't agree with this, and you don't shut them down. Because I haven't deleted a comment on my channel in fucking 5 years or more. And that was only somebody that was being super abusive. I mean, people deserve to be heard, whatever they say. But yeah. So check out his channel. See what you think. And there's a couple others I wanted to talk about. Like Pursuit of Wonder is a great channel I like. There's a couple others. Maybe I'll make a little list of the few that I watch and share them with all y'all. And I'd like to leave by saying, if any of you know of any smaller, medium-sized, or large, philosophic or insightful channels that maybe I'm not aware of, please let me know. I'm always looking for new stuff. Take care, my friends. I'll talk to you soon.